Good afternoon. The Chilliwack Creative Commission is located on the traditional territory of the Stalo people. Live from Cowork, Chilliwack's Studio C, welcome to the Creative Third Thursdays. It's great to be back at Cowork, Chilliwack. Studio C, Creative Third Thursdays. That would be one of those times where you could yeah. You guys are a fantastic audience. We sure missed our last scheduled Creative Third Thursday. We had to cancel due to circumstances beyond anybody's control. And Sarah Sovereign is a very creative photographer with a solid connection to the work of our guest today. And so we'll give you a bit more on that later, but I will tell you, coming up in September, put September 15th, Creative Third Thursday on your calendar, because we just got it confirmed. Sarah Sovereign will be appearing then. So after, it's summer, like I said before, there's a little bit less kind of going on. You guys all maintaining your social media accounts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Are you, good. So it's a little slow on social media in the summertime, so I always think that's a good time to pay attention to our online etiquette. And it's a good time to sort of think about those sorts of things. And I always like to say, tweet others like you would like to be tweeted yourself. I hope the microphones picked it up, because that was... And while we're talking about social media, Facebook, I just read the other day, Facebook is hiring. So if you're interested, don't worry, they have all your details. So let's give a big thank you to our hosts here today for Creative Third Thursdays. It's Cowork Chilliwack, and the Cowork Chilliwack team is Tim and Michael and Tim. That would be another one. So on the screen are the members of the Chilliwack Creative Commission. I'm Geoff Edwards, and I am the super happy guy to have you guys here today and getting away from whatever it is that you are creatively working on this week. The Creative Commission is a committee of the Chilliwack Economic Partners Corporation. The Commission's a one-stop resource for film, interactive, and digital media in Chilliwack, and we're all about helping to stimulate activity in our sector. And that's why we're promoting events like Creative Third Thursdays and our annual Pechikucha in the fall. Okay, good. Wave if this is your first time at a Creative Third Thursday. Wow, welcome. Yeah. So Creative Third Thursdays is your monthly opportunity to meet and mingle with other creative people in our area. And we encourage you to give it a couple of tries. Don't just come once. Keep listening out for Creative Third Thursdays. It's always free. And of course, what we're really famous for is we have cold bevies. So let's get on with our show.
Good.
Thank you very much. Our guest has been designing jewelry, costumes, and now installations of art for more than 25 years, and she's an internationally published designer. She's also the executive director of the Chilliwack Arts Council. Please welcome Siobhan D'Souza.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. So let's just start off with, we just watched that little video. Tell us a little bit about what we just saw.
Well, over the years, I've been creating all sorts of crazy things from headpieces to outfits and costuming, depending on what we decide to do and create. So a lot of it is just me working with different photographers and figuring out different cool creative ideas to bring to life.
And the prism things, that's a kind of a new development for you.
It is. It's recycled art. So I'm always trying to, my goal is always I find things and I turn garbage into pretty things. So those are all recycled DVDs that I've gotten over the years from different offices and different places so instead of just throwing them in the garbage, just make them into art.
So that dress we just saw it's a long line of dresses and designs that you've come up with for fashion.
Yep. The recent one was one that kind of just came about, and someone wanted like a mushroom queen, fungi queen kind of idea. So I kind of started building these little mushroom creations, and those all on the dress are all hand sculpted little mushrooms, and yeah, it turned out really cool, and we're really excited to shoot that when that happens. We're hoping to get a pretty big TikTok star and get a little traffic from that. Eventually, we're hoping to do it in the fall, and yeah, that should be great.
I was going to save that for later since you brought it up. That's a really interesting sort of development for you, like TikTok. To nail what you're doing with TikTok, have you got sort of a plan for what you're doing there?
Well, I'm learning every day. Even with we have a store in the Cottonwood Mall as well that I try to keep social media updated. So I'm learning different new techniques of swooshing and video techniques to make it more interesting and more like content, creating the content, right? So you don't actually get anything or you won't be seen unless you create the content that is there. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to learn to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more fantastic, so people enjoy what they're seeing. Besides the pretty pictures, they're actually getting a little bit of a cool video along with it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about these. So you contributed to this look.
Yes.
The makeup, obviously somebody else did.
So I did the horns on this one. I did the hair on this one. I did the full top, and then we have her in a crinoline, a triple crinoline actually. So there's 3 crinolines on her with purple damask. So the crinoline is quite huge on this one. And this one got published into, I want to say, Dark Beauty magazine, if I'm correct. And it was a feature in the cover. So it was, yeah, cool.
It's a big deal. This is another one, like
yeah, this girl is actually the runner-up for BC Miss Universe pageant. She was just in the one here, and I helped her with her costume. And this was just a random outfit. We were doing all these kind of fun, creative ideas, and she actually has a crown on that I turned upside down, put it over her eyes, and then put a collar on that I made and the headpiece, and it just turned into an incredible image. So some of them are just lucky that we just put together. We're like, this looks great, and let's take it, right? So
you often cover the eyes, I've noticed. I
do. I have a lot of weird pictures where I like to cover the face and make everything where it's really pretty, but it's just almost like not androgynous, but just like almost like robotic, where you don't really know and you don't see the face, you just see the creature that's there. So yeah.
Not all the models would love that.
No. I did a shoot recently with, and I made a floral mask completely covered in floral. And the girl that was our model was a makeup artist, so she really wanted her face to be seen. And I was like, "Here's a mask." Yeah. So, but we got her taking it off. So some cool shots of doing that.
What have we got here?
So this is for Vault. This is Vancouver Alternative Fashion Weekend I did for 5 years. And I started just doing headpieces the very first year. And then I was watching what was on the runway. And I'm like, I could do that too. And so the next year I did full costume and headpieces. And the next year I just elaborated and got bigger and bigger and bigger each year. And yeah, this one's, these are horns I did that are covered in leather. And it's all Swarovski crystal. So on the runway, they're just incredible to see, like the bling of it. And then I created a crisscross scaled full little bodice for her on the bottom.
Wish we could see it.
Yeah.
So you shoot a lot of
outdoor, yeah.
Outdoor,
a lot of
stuff,
outdoor.
Yeah.
I usually work with 2 main photographers, Sarah Sovereign being one of them, and she's my outdoor light girl. And then I have Jenny Ray from Surrey, who is my studio girl, who loves everything inside. And if we do anything outside, she brings lights and the whole kit and caboodle, because she likes to have all the control over all the lighting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we live in a beautiful place. We're very lucky, so we have some incredible backgrounds. This is just Bridal Falls, And this came into play. This is actually a wreath I had, and I just found a wreath, and I got a bunch of floral, and I started poking it into there, and that girl was small enough to fit into the wreath, and it was perfect, yeah.
So in another life, you were in food service management, right?
I was, yeah. In my early...
What happened that had you embark on like, because I don't imagine there's a lot of, wow, maybe I'm being presumptuous, but
creativity in the food
nothing
service.
Like this. Nothing like this in the food service.
Yeah, in my early 20s, I worked at a coffee shop downtown, and I almost purchased it. I came very close to running my own coffee shop down there, and then I went into restaurant management with Earls, and it was great. It was something that I really was passionate about. I loved the fast-paced scene. I loved serving people. I'm a host by nature. And then unfortunately, when I was 25, I got really sick and was in the hospital for, I think, about 2 months. And I had to do chemotherapy and plasmapheresis, where they drained all my blood, and prednisone treatments. And they gave me high milligrams, 1,000 milligram pulse prednisone treatments, which in turn killed my major joints. So I lost my shoulders and my hips. So a small stint of me being sick turned into quite a long stretch of me trying to recover. So I had to get both my hips replaced and both my shoulders replaced. And it just took a bit of time to actually get back there. But at the time, I was at Earl's, and I was a week away from getting my benefits, and it just didn't turn out. So I was stuck, and I was like, how do I make money now? How do I survive being able to work? And so I just started making things, and it just worked out. It was a lucky time that a lady opened a shop downtown in Chilliwack called Diva Boutique. I don't know if anyone remembers that. It was on Mill Street, and every day she'd be like, can you make this? And I'll be like, let me try. And I made it and brought it in. It was sold. Can you make this? I made it, brought it in, and sold. So I just started making stuff, and it worked out perfect, because it was just a way for me to get back on my feet, to start making things again. And the reason I started doing headpieces is I used to do jewelry all the time, but I went to Ireland for my cousin's wedding, and everybody there was wearing fascinators. I didn't even know what their name of them were. I just thought feathers and a doodle on someone's head. And I went to find out prices of them, and they were all like 60 euros plus. And I was like, this is ridiculous. It's a clip and a jewel and a feather. And so as Canadians, we don't dress up. We're a casual country. And so I thought, let's see if I can bring some fascinators into this world. And it worked out for a while. It was actually a really good gateway for me to get into the fashion industry and to pull from that to another and get more creative. And yeah.
You mentioned Vault earlier, Vancouver Alternative. So tell me a little bit about that scene.
That was very lucky. I just met some right people at the right time. They were having these little social events, just like this kind of thing, but out in Vancouver, where you come as what you do, and you work with other models, and you meet makeup artists and hairstylists, and you kind of work all together. And from that, I met a team of cats. There are 2 girls named Kat, and they decided that they were going to start Vault, and they managed to pull it off for 5 years straight. There was talks of it coming back and bringing all the old designers back, which would be really great, but it just wasn't sustainable after a while. It was a lot to run. But for the 5 years they ran it, I did it every year. It was a really big event out in Vancouver, and usually showcased on the weirder kind of fashion girls, not your ready to wear like t-shirts and shorts. It was all like full chandelier dresses, and like a really cool event to see, because you got to see some really interesting fashion and really interesting art and music, because they pulled out of the weirder boxes. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then another term I'd never heard of before until I talked to you the other day was trade for print.
Trade for print. That's a big thing, yeah.
Is it a big thing? Because I guess it's not something that's big to me. I haven't heard of it before.
Well, just unfortunately in Vancouver, it's not really big throughout the world. It's just really big in Vancouver and BC, and it kind of went nuts. And people are slowly trying to veer away from that, especially once you build a portfolio. But nobody wants to pay a photographer. Nobody wants to pay a hairstylist. No one wants to pay a model. No one wants to pay a makeup artist. No one wants to pay anybody. Everyone just wants everything, right? So instead of doing that, where we're forced to pay a bunch of people, a bunch of artists just to get together, and they create something and they do it all for free, and then what they come out of it is with pictures. So you get images after it. So you get stuff to show that you've done something, but nobody gets paid in this. So it's awful, but at the same time, it's the only thing that's got me to where I am now. Like, I have a huge portfolio. This is just a tiny taste of what I do. And like, when I was going through pictures, I was like, whoa. Like, I didn't know what to pick. I was like, I actually have so much. And then he asked me how long you've been doing this for. And I'm like, 25 years. And I couldn't believe I actually said that out loud. And the amount of stuff that we've just done, like every week we think of something and we do something different. So
what are you working on currently?
I just started it yesterday, totally most random thing, but I make these little things for the store. For Christmas every year, I make ornaments for my family. And a couple of years ago, these are so cute. I made these little mushroom ornaments that were just adorable. And everyone's like, you should sell these. And I was like, okay. So I started making them.
Is that what we saw in the videos, a little mushroom on that head?
Yeah, so I did the mushroom, but I do them on like a little tree stands now with crystals and stuff on them and make them all cute and everything. So then I thought, why not make that, but big? So now I'm doing this kind of crazy mushroom and crystal thing that just started yesterday. I'm hoping to have it ready for Mural Fest this weekend. So if anyone's out there, we have a little art section, a bunch of awesome artists and little art installations. So I should have got a couple pieces out there ready
Cool.
to. Yeah.
Mural Fest. And you have a mural.
I do. I have.
It's a 3D mural.
Jellyfish jail. I don't know if anyone's seen it downtown. It's a little tiny one, little nook. Unfortunately, it's not lit right now because people really love breaking into it and stealing our lights. So it's been happened 4 times now. So we're keeping the lights out of it. I might throw some in on Friday just to kind of let it glow, just because it's so much better at night when it glows. But we're getting a new gate on there. Once the new gate's on there, new lights will go in, and then it'll just be back to its glory. But yeah, it was a really awesome opportunity Amber gave me. I used to own a escape room downtown called Fourth Dimension Escape Rooms. And my second rooms were very high feature to 3D black light visual effects. They're called chroma depth, what pulls out the red and pushes back the blue, so the whole room kind of comes in at you. And so she came to some of my rooms, really enjoyed them, and was like, let's make a 3D black light mural in this little cubby. And so that's how Adrienne, my niece, helped me out with that as well. And yeah, no, it was good. It was a lot of fun. And supposedly I have the person who was generous enough to sponsor me for the first time. Loved it so much. He's sponsoring me again. So we're trying to find me a little cubby to do something else pretty soon. So
right on.
Yeah.
So you were also getting out to festivals and exposing
Yes.
yourself to that. I imagine there's some enrichment involved in that as well. You're seeing other ideas.
Absolutely. And that's exactly where, for me, going to these places and seeing the art that's presented there, you can't believe what people can create. And it's just amazing. So I would love to be that person who's creating that art for people to be like, whoa, that is a treat for my eyes. You know what I mean? I enjoy giving everyone's a treat if I can, right? So because I've been blessed and gone to big festivals like Burning Man and this and that, where I can see like art just arise in front of me, that's just beyond my imagination. I would love to join a team of people that would create these big giant pieces that just put people in mesmerizing awe, right? So I have my one piece I made for Bloom Festival in Deer Lake Park this year. So I made a huge, life-size woman covered in DVD triangles. And
that prism effect.
Yes, and so she'll be at Mural Fest as well, but she's kind of falling. She's over the summer. You can tell the sun has been a little bit hard on her, so she's going to get some love. I just got a grant to bring it up to burn in the forest. So every region does a mini, like Burning Man, and so they bring a bunch of art up to the festival grounds, and basically we get to display it and show it to people, and people just come and enjoy the art and see music and get food and all that kind of good stuff.
Burn in the forest. Don't worry, there's no actual fire.
There's no fire at all this year. Everyone's pretty mad about it because the whole idea is of burning everything, but there's a fire ban.
So tell me about the TikTok story. That sounds kind of intriguing.
So because the dress actually was made for another client who was thinking about doing this shoot, and I jumped on it a little early. There was 4 possible scenarios, and I was going away that weekend, so I was like, I need to get on these scenarios because I need to figure this out. So I just went for it, and I've always wanted to make a mushroom dress anyways and a mushroom headpiece. It ended up kind of going another direction. So I was like, oh no, I made this beautiful piece, and what can I do now? So I've been following this girl on TikTok for, I would say, a year now. Her name is Witch Betty, WHICH. She has like 1.8 million followers on Facebook, and just messaged her out of the blue saying, "Hey, do you want to do a shoot?" And she's like, "I'm all about it." And we're like, "Woo!" So hopefully that happens in the fall. And
she's from the Lower Mainland?
She's from the Lower Mainland. She's in, I want to say she's on the island, but I think she's on the coast, because she said that coming to the mainland would be no problem, or coming to the Fraser Valley would be no problem. So yeah, hopefully that goes well with that.
Yeah. So I like to preach diversity in social media. What else are you doing to keep your name out there? Because I don't know if you know, I got hacked on Facebook and my Facebook disappeared, remember? I told you this earlier. Anyway, I always say to people, be very diversified and own a piece of your own domain. So you're on the online.
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I have my updated website, and I'm on TikTok as well. So I would say I'm mostly active the most on Instagram. I'm trying to be better on Facebook, because Facebook I find I forget about it.
What's your handle on Instagram?
Shiverz Designs on everything. Yeah, Shiverz with a Z, because I like to confuse people, and it was fun because everybody's always like, "Shiverz is it?" And I'm like, "No, it's just Shiverz." But I just went through Z on for rock and roll, but. Yeah.
So we got to the girl with the red hair.
Yeah, and this girl is Autumn, and I was telling Geoff a story about how we found her. Me and Sarah were talking one day how we would love to shoot a girl with long red hair, and I was working at Chandler at the time, and this young girl came in with long red hair, and I was that creepy person that came over with my card and was like, "Hey, do you want to be a model?" And luckily her mom was cool with it, and we took her out, and now she's a full-fledged model. She's been modeling now for 10 years, and that's her job, and she loves it, and she's all over the place. You'll see her now everywhere that I said that. Yeah.
Siobhan D'Souza, everybody. So if you are posting to social media this afternoon, and I'm sure you are, some of you are not getting out your phones right now. Anyway, so our hashtag is Creative Chilliwack, and that's right there on the screen. Oh, look at that smile. So if you or someone you know is a creative entrepreneur locally, reach out to any of us on the Chilliwack Creative Commission. We may be featuring you on an upcoming Creative Third Thursdays. And the next time at Creative Third Thursdays, meet local photographer with a background in film, visual arts, and English at UFE, combined with a master's in counseling. You saw some of her work today, like the exteriors we saw with Siobhan today, were mostly shot, or all shot by Siobhan, by Sarah.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's next time on Creative Third Thursdays. So that would be a good place to say,
cheers.
we have cold drinks at Creative Third Thursdays. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.